Hey y'all, it's me, Little Bus Peep, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. And today we'll be covering the ongoing Canada vs. the World 2 crowning drama saga, as well as revisiting that Nehellenia vs. the World untucked fight because we've got some new tea from Kween Kong, who shares some more context behind the scenes information about what transpired. And finally, we'll be going queen by queen to break down the freshly announced cast of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 6. Category is Fun Villain Realness. Yee! So first up, let's look at the Lemon versus Alexis Mateo ongoing feud, because you know with every crowning comes a little bit of drama. And this finale's crowning drama is centered around that final lip sync that occurred between Alexis Mateo and Lemon to Celine Dion's My Love Will Move Mountains. And you'll remember that after the finale aired, Alexis was of course quick to congratulate her sister Lemon on winning the crown, but also quick to follow up in that same congratulatory post, even though I was in the bottom many times unfairly and not even shown in the last lip sync, it was a great season and Lemon was amazing. But the drama continues in an interview Lemon did with Ricky Cornish, where Ricky asks about that same tweet and Lemon replies saying this.
Typical Alexis fashion for her to follow it up with, even though they didn't show me in the lip sync and I shouldn't have been in the bottom, congrats.
Well, you know, if I was 45 and still losing Drag Race, I'd have a lot to say too.
And if you couldn't catch it because the audio was kind of weird in that clip, she said, if I was 45 and still losing Drag Race, I'd have a lot to say too. And Alexis directly responded to this interview clip on her X profile, writing, I'm 45 and I still have a career in drag, not just hashtag drag race. And I'm part of the success of the show. Let's not get sassy because we know why you won at that bitch Lemon. See you this weekend in Vegas. Where Lemon responds, I've never ever said that you were less than amazing and I've never tried to discredit your success. This is a little joke from a long interview where I said many times how amazing you were. And Alexis writes back, I know it was a joke because I know you're smart, but don't get too comfortable making jokes because the joke will be over when I start making my jokes with receipts now that the NDA is over. And then a couple days later, Alexis Mateo revisited the lip sync drama with a post to her X profile that included some screenshots of that finale lip sync where she wrote, some of my favorite shots of me in the final lip sync of Canada versus the World, where you can see the camera is focused on Lemon and at times even cutting Alexis completely out of the shot. And I'm going to clarify, all of this seems to be in very good fun between the two because they have since posted some photos together showing that they've worked it out in the remix, where Alexis wrote, well, we both alive, we fought, we kissed, and we laughed. I love you, Lemon, and thank you for being you. I'm officially moving on. But Alexis did continue to have fun with the I'm cut out of this lip sync bit because on Lemon's birthday, on the 1st, she posted a photo of her and Lemon where Lemon is halfway cropped out of that photo. And that, I think, officially concludes the Canada vs. the World Series 2 drama and coverage that we will do on this channel. May her cuckoo rest in peace. And again, congratulations to Lemon and all of the contestants for a great season. And next up, we'll be dipping our toes back into the Global All-Stars Nehellenia vs. the World drama that occurred in this past episode's Untucked, where I'll quickly recap that Nehellenia essentially was expressing to the rest of the group she felt underappreciated and not respected in what she had done in the competition thus far. Everyone else in the room seemed to be confused by her asking these questions and asked why she was feeling that way and who said was disrespecting her. And when Nehellenia was unwilling to name names, several of the queens in the room got up in frustration and left the conversation. Little did Nehellenia know, though, that prior to her coming into this workroom, the queens had actually been just having a discussion about who they thought was in the bottom, and Nehellenia's name did come up as a pick for several queens' bottoms, including Soa Demuse and Alyssa Edwards, despite actually being in the top that week. And this big fight paired with some of those confessional moments from queens like Kitty, where she said Nehellenia was mouthing off, and Soa questioning that Nehellenia was looking for love in the competition, and also Kween Kong calling her the C word. It was easy, I think, for us as viewers to sit there and feel very much on the side of Nehellenia, who I'm sure was not feeling great in that moment. However, Kween Kong did take to Twitter this past weekend after basically the entire fandom blew up and tried to clarify the situation, writing this. Full tea, none of y'all were there. You saw the last 5 minutes of a chat that went for over 45 minutes and went round in circles. When Nelly spoke, we started off gently asking who was and what was she was talking about, because at that point some of us didn't know who or what could have happened to make her feel this way. None of us, tops or bottoms, got to talk about our critiques because Untucked was used up with us trying to understand what was happening. We literally met each other 6 days before this. The girls who stormed off were told to come back and talk about their critiques because no one got to talk about their critiques because all of Untucked was about who made Nelly feel this way. None of us would want Nehellenia to feel like she wasn't welcome or that we didn't want to understand her. Now we're being accused of bullying her because this edit makes our frustration in the situation an attack on her feelings. This is wild. I sat with Nelly at dinner the night before and we reassured her about these feelings because we had only met everyone days before. We all come from different backgrounds with different sense of humor, references, language, etc. We were competing for Rue's attention, not each other's. And the reason they stormed off was because they were getting ready to lip sync or help the girls get ready to lip sync. Do with that what you want. And in another Twitter thread, an ex-user posted a clip of that fight and wrote this: all of these girls, except Pythia, should be ashamed of themselves. These are grown-ass adults letting a poor girl sit alone during lunch breaks behind the scenes of 3 whole episodes. My heart hurts for Nehellenia and she deserves better. Where Kween Kong writes, this is a damn lie. At no point did any of us ignore her or let her sit alone. WTF is happening. And in another X thread talking about this situation, a user Green Gay writes, I think we can all agree that Nehellenia stole our hearts this episode. We saw someone reach their limit with feeling disrespected and stand up for themselves, #Global All Stars. Where Kween Kong writes, WTF, y'all are doing too much. We literally met each other 6 days before this episode. I think what Queen had to say about a 45-minute conversation being edited down to basically a 5-minute conversation was really poignant because we as viewers of reality TV are not getting the full picture. We are getting a curated, selected, edited, and carefully presented story, which is this fight. Right. And I think additional context, like knowing that the queens had just met 6 days before this episode, which means they had filmed 4 episodes at this point in 6 days, explains that, yeah, I'm sure they were all feeling a little tired and a little frustrated and possibly a little misunderstood. Because girl, 4 Drag Race episodes in 6 days, of which I'll remind you, 1 was a ball with 36 looks and the first 2 were talent shows with runways. And now this one, the girl groups episode, which I'm really gagged at because that timeline means that my suspicions of the queens not having enough time to rehearse their girl groups thing, thus making them all look a little bit messy, was true. Likely, apparently, and allegedly. But now that some dust has settled and we've heard queens like Kween Kong speak up with a little more context about this episode and this fight, I'm curious to know what y'all are thinking about all this now, so let me know in the comments below. And now it's time to jump in our boats and sail across the pond over to RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 6, where we're gonna go queen by queen and look at these new, freshly announced promo photos. First up, and in alphabetical order, not to be confused with Jamie Lee Curtis's Actavia, who according to her Out.com interview is 21, literally just a baby, and is from North Wales, though is now representing Manchester, and describes herself as a chameleon of drag and great dancer. And this young queen is definitely full of energy, I'll give her that. Oh, to be young again. And her look and aesthetic here very much lean into that young kind of Bratz doll Y2K fantasy, but meets playing in the Matrix with this oversized black trench coat that I really enjoy the shape of with those giant sleeves. Juxtapose that slim figure in the PVC black dress. The red choker is cute, and I like the color story of the black and red going on, definitely giving me a little evil, a little villain. I'm sure she could have gone bigger on the concept and look, but I think the simplicity worked for her here and showed a clear eye for the aesthetic she's trying to achieve, so I'm gonna give this a hat. And next up, it's Chanel O'Connor, who, according to her interview, is 25 years old and is representing Scotland. And we learn Miss Chanel is not just a seamstress, but a gainfully employed look creator for queens like Lawrence Chaney. And although she comes off as so poised, confident, and elegant in her Meet the Queens, we do hear that she apparently is nervous for the dance portions of this competition. Maybe they're giving us a little hint that she might struggle in this competition. And whether she's pulling her legs or not, what I do know is that I don't think she'll be struggling in the look category because this gown is so clean. And her hair and mug are absolutely perfect. That wig is coming out of her scalp, mama. Did y'all see that? Did you clock that? Where's the lace? No lace. Hair, follicles, just like me. Oh my God, do y'all hate this wig? Like literally nobody says anything about this and I wear this all the time just to mess with you guys. My desperate attempts to get attention. Nobody says anything about it. Chanel looks really beautiful. I love this gown. And look, you can tell she's a seamstress. Everything is fitting her like a absolute glove. She's got a beautiful shape and silhouette in this. And the wrist cape attached to the train of this dress is just that old Hollywood glamour style and it looks gorgeous on her. And yeah, I really don't have any complaints here. I'm gonna give this look a hat. And next up, it's Charra T, who's 23 from Belfast, who says she loves and embraces tacky as an aesthetic in her drag, which I think is very appropriate for a drag queen, especially one from the UK who were always very into the camp and the tacky and the kitsch, but in a positive, funny way. And it was no surprise for me to read that some of her favorite pop culture icon divas are Gemma Collins, Kim Woodburn, and Nadine Coyle, saying she loves them all. And her look, I think, very much embraces who she says she is. Girl, she is literally giving giant glamorous apps rosebud realness. And I've got to say, like, I gagged when I saw this because I knew what she was doing immediately. And I was like, oh, that's so disgusting, but so awesome. And it's those small details of, you know, putting the little dangling crystals on that giant, beautiful rosebud around her neck. And I guess I did have a small question of, could a giant apps be a Bond villain? Like, is this on brief? And I came to the answer that it doesn't matter, and it might as well be. So I'm gonna give this look a hot. And next up, it's Dita Garbo, who's 48 and from Kent and is apparently the oldest drag queen who's ever competed in RuPaul's Drag Race UK. And if you can tell by her aesthetic in this promo photo, she says her drag is inspired by burlesque and old Hollywood glamour. Lots of that inspiration coming into this promo and these queens, you'll see. But she elaborates her style icons are Dita Von Teese and Greta Garbo, thus explaining her name, Dita Garbo. But the more interesting thing about this queen is the potential performance capabilities she could be bringing with that style aesthetic. Because by day, she's a dance teacher, and by night, she's Greta Garbo. Dita Garbo. Imagine this actually is just Greta Garbo. She's here on Drag Race. Hello. Back from the dead. Hello. Okay, but actually may she rest in peace. We don't need to upset the spirits and ghouls and ghosts today. Anyways, this look I think is very pretty and exactly what you would expect from somebody saying their style icons are these girlies. I think that turquoise color is beautiful and all the details in that corsetry and the accessories are all really well styled and matched together. This is a solid look and I love how much body she's giving. Certain queens would be very happy with this. This look is hot. And next up it's Kiki Snatch, who is 25 and from London, and describes herself as not just a look queen, but also a big performance queen, saying she can do the cartwheel, splits, dips, tricks, and yes, even games. Allegedly, she has a routine where she pulls out a twister mat and gets the audience involved. And she may not just be a pretty performance girly, but actually someone who's campy and funny too, because she says in this interview that winning the title would prove that the kooky and misunderstood wins can also come out on top too. She's kooky, she's quirky, and she's certainly not like the other girls. Her look though is giving me deconstructed pantsuit realness, which I think for a cute little executive realness type of runway is actually a nice look. I like the chaps, I like the stoning on the collar moments of this, and the cutouts in that top, giving lots of shape and silhouette even where there isn't a lot built into the actual fabric. My thing is though, for a promo look, I think she could have gone bigger, bolder, and a little more in theme with the evil Bond concept. Because this look as it is just kind of giving me board meeting with the shareholders at 5, drop death splits performance at 7. But I wouldn't say it's a bad look, so I'm gonna leave this with a warming. And next up, everyone's favorite communicable disease, Kyran Thrax, who is 26 from Lancashire, and discusses in her Out.com interview how her love for drag is really a love for expressionism, clowning, and Shakespeare all put into one, aka yet another drag queen weaponizing her BFA. But basically, she's saying here she can do it all. And if this look is any indication of how she's gonna be doing in this competition, girl, I'm excited. This look is sick. I'm loving the like Elvis Presley on fire type of situation we're doing here, but also make it evil villain. Those crazy 10-inch platforms, the super long nails, and the color story of the red and white being so crisp and clear in every element of design in this look. It's a gag, honey. And like, girl, I'm just glad somebody got in drag for this promo. This look is hot. And next up is the boy who's 43 from Stockton-on-Tees. And sorry, I'm just looking at the name of where she's from. Stockton-on-Tees. Stockton-on-Tees. Is that how you say that? I'm trying to say it like if I was British. Stockton-on-Tees.
Stockton-on-Tees.
Oh, bitch. Okay, work. I served that. Cleared that pronunciation with ease. And y'all, all my haters, they said I was never gonna be British enough to cover Drag Race UK, yet here I am, defying gravity against all odds. Stockton-on-Tees. Anyways, the Voix 43 from Stockton-on-Tees and is not new to the RuPaul's Drag Race Industrial Competition Complex. Oh no, honey. She has competed on Queens of the Universe where she finished in 4th/5th place, which you'll remember was like the singing drag competition so that they did a couple seasons of and then everybody forgot about. But she has not only competed in singing competitions like that, but also finished as a semi-finalist in Britain's Got Talent and apparently has sung on over 80 cruise ships going around the world in her lengthy and highly lauded drag career. So for all that, I say props to you, mama. But her look is giving me everything that I wanted from a Bond villain promo. I love that blood red color paired with black and how she has created this silhouette that's like shoulder pads, jacket, but also dress, and everything is just silky and stoned and beautiful. Encrusted. Encrusted is how I would describe all those red stones and the beautiful density, shape, and size patterns all over this. Really tasty and poised and professional and glamorous. And like this look just shows me she knows who she is, what she wants to serve, and how she's gonna serve it. This look is hot. And next up, it's Lill, whose name is actually an acronym for Living in Lavish Luxury. And Miss Lill is 36 from Manchester and apparently has been lilling for 10 years. And she says her drag inspiration comes from people like her favorite designer, John Galliano, and that she loves to look like a glamorous pinup doll, hence the glamorous pinup doll look that we have here today. And I love a good cheetah print, obviously. And I love that she's done a full gown in this print. She looks like Miss Cruella, but if she were into cheetahs. But specifically in that, 40s to 60s pinup glamorous villain era. I think the shape of this dress is gorgeous. I love the body that she has incorporated into moments of this dress, like her chest, and she looks like a fully realized queen. This look is hot. And next up, it's Marmalade, who's 24 from Cardiff. And it's another queen happily singing about how she is inspired by old Hollywood glamour. That is like the name of the inspiration of this entire cast. And specifically, she names Rita Hayworth, Barbara Streisand, and Meryl Streep as some of her favorite icons. And Miss Marmalade's also another seamstress in this cast, having done looks for Lawrence Chaney, and also Victoria Scott and Tia Coffey, who I believe she is drag family with, being the granddaughter and daughter of those two. And with Miss Chanel and Marmalade talking such a big game about their sewing skills, I am ready for the ball sew off that's gonna happen between these two. They're setting it up, they better knock it down. That's all I gotta say. Concerning her look today, she is very much alluding into that old Hollywood glamour style in this gold chain, lacy skirt moment. And I love those showgirls elements, like those big giant feathers off various portions of this look, including the Fascinator, who's giving glamour, she's giving camp, she's giving a little burlesque. And I like all the glamour and camp happening here. I think it could maybe be a little more evil for evil Bond villain, but I'm getting seductress. This look is hot. And except it's Rileasa Slaves, who has one of the best drag names I think I've ever seen in this composition. And she is 32 and representing London, but originally from St. Lucia. And Miss Rileasa lets us know in her interviews that she is constantly compared to the pop culture icon Rihanna. And I very much see it, especially with this wig and makeup that she's got on for this promo. I really like this dress and coat combo, and I'll say it does feel slightly Bond villainy, but like in the Real Housewives universe, there's like an everyday realness to this type of promo look. And I maybe would have liked to see her go bigger and bolder with concepts, but I do think overall it's a pretty good look. I'm gonna give it a hot. I was just kind of wondering, like, what are we doing with these like eyes in this necklace area? And how could we have maybe put more of that into the look to make it even more evil? And except it's Saki, who is 33 and from Melbourne, but now in Manchester. And she says that she's gonna be giving us Australian showgirl glamour mixed with high energy Filipino sass and a sprinkle of northern wit and realness. She's not just giving us best of both worlds, she is giving us best of the world. The entire world, every single continent, mama. And Miss Saki has over 13 years in the drag industry. And in this look, I'm getting, she's sitting in her Bond villain CEO chair at the headquarters of the drag villain realness industries. And she is definitely plotting something with the way that hat is tilted. And she's got these mysterious little like nail points on her gloves that I can only presume are filled with poison. Don't get too close. I think she's created a really great villain espionage looking look here. And I love that her aesthetic doesn't take itself too seriously. And she's having some whimsical fun with this silhouette and hat. Overall, this look is hot. And finally, it's Zahira Zapanta, who is 28 and from Nottingham, and who talks in her interview about how her British Filipino roots inspire her drag. And when we get closer in this promo, we see the hair is perfect, the mug is perfect, the way the dress is fitting is perfect. And I love that it's like a danceable kind of number, but also very fun and fashionable. Got these really cool like horns coming out of the hips, and I love the sensible cape train moments give a little drag and drama to the look overall. I think she nailed the look, and I'm gonna give this a hot. And finally, for my hottest hot in this promo, I'm gonna give it to Kyran Thrax. And I also asked my patrons to vote on their hottest hots over at patreon.com/BussyQueen. And they voted for Marmalade. And finally, I want to say thanks so much to you for watching today's video and give an extra special shout out to your friend Lana, who's just joined my Patreon at the hot tier. And Felicia, Matthew Burns, Nicole Minst, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me on my Bussy Queen Collector tier at patreon.com. See you later. Love ya.